Hello YouTubers, this is EC Street Preacher here. Just going to give you a quick update on how things are going. Health-wise, I am much better. Numbers that were too high are lower now, and they're getting lower, and I'm just feeling really great. And I just want to thank all the well-wishers and all the prayers. I mean, they certainly were answered. So I'm definitely good in that department. It may be a few weeks until I can get back to street preaching. You see, what's happened is I've had to make some changes, and one of those was to sort of drop back out of that promotion to my former job, which was, delivering mail. And if you know anything about this time of year, we get a whole lot of mail, a whole lot of packages. So what's been happening for the past couple of weeks is I've been working a lot of hours, which is, like I say, it's both a good and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because when you're working about 11 to 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, you don't really have a lot of time to go out and street preach. There was kind of I did have an idea to go street preaching during Black Friday, because you could just find a long line of people and preach to them while they're waiting for the store open. So you got a captive audience, but there wasn't really like I say, city property near where one of those lines would be. Just the logistics just didn't work out for that. And I'm the kind of person, I'm not going to preach somewhere unless I know that it's city property. Now, a lot of, some people, they'll go preach somewhere on private property until someone tells them to leave, and I'm not saying anything against that at all. I mean, if that's what you're led to do it that way, but that's just a personal preference to me, is I'm only going to go to city property, public property to preach. So that just didn't really work out. And like I say, with the work schedule being what it is, like I say, it's a good and a bad thing. Like I say, it's bad because I don't have the time to really go out and street preach. And like I say, it's only just for a few weeks. Once the holiday season's over, I'll be back out there again. The good thing is, when you're working a lot, you get paid a lot. So, there's a number of ministries that I support financially, besides my own. So, if I got that extra money, that sort of helps, and that's, in that regard. I kind of still have a little bit of debt from the road trip I did to California and Oregon, and plan on preaching Mardi Gras, and who else? Where else I may go? I'll probably take some more time off in November, and I'll probably go somewhere then. I think I got an open invitation to go back to Oregon, so I'll probably take them up on that. But it's good to have money for those things. So that's what's happening on that front. So now the channel itself is not going to be shut down for a few weeks. I may do a few fun days, when the kids are out of school for the Christmas break. But like I say, it's just really busy, but I just want to assure everybody that even though you may not see a street preaching video for a while, don't pray that I've backslidden or become a heathen or something. I will be back street preaching. I do have plans to do an instructional video, which is much easier. I can just do it from here, instead of having to go somewhere out and street preach like I do. But I'll do an instructional video. There's some passages in the Bible that are just very commonly misinterpreted, and I just want to shed some light on those. And I'm going to prove it by the Bible. It's not just logical reasoning or whatever. I can prove it by the Bible that these passages are misinterpreted, and it just really grieves my spirit to see that going on. So there will be an instructional video. Maybe a few, I don't know. Just depends on how things go. And there will be some fun day videos. But street preaching definitely, I will be back out there next month, and I'm very cold-natured, so I'll have to wrap up a little bit more, but I'll definitely be getting out there and preaching, because I mean that's what God's called me to. So I just want to give a little update on that. And if I could just throw something on the end here, I mean, what happened to me, with the health scare? I mean, it could have very well been the end. I mean, EC could have been DC, as in deceased, and that just really got me to thinking, about, we hear a lot about, people passing away, and, there's always that people say, well, he didn't live a perfect life, but, maybe God showed himself to him in a dream, or, maybe there was a few minutes, God could have came to him and spoken to him, and, maybe he's in heaven now, that sort of thing. And I really wouldn't want to put that kind of burden on my family. We owe it to our families to live a holy life. I mean, like I say, what if, last Monday was it? Not Monday, it wasn't last Monday, it was a few weeks back. But what if that was it? I mean, if you had gone to, my friends, my family, my co-workers, there wouldn't have been no question. They would have said, he lived a holy life. I know where he went. He didn't go to hell. He lives a holy life. And there would have been no question in their mind. So, live a holy life. Don't put that kind of burden on your family to wonder, because we don't know. Certainly that day when the health scare happened, I mean, I didn't know that it was going to happen. I mean, there was no warning signs. It just boom, it just kind of hit me all at once. So, if that had been the end, then there would have been no question in my family's mind, where I went to. So live that kind of life, don't put that kind of burden on your family. And just another addendum to that is, I mentioned if you spoke to my coworkers, they would say the same thing. I know he lives a holy life. I know where he went. My coworkers, even though, hey, I work for the government, but my coworkers, I mean, they know where I stand as far as, living a holy life and how I feel about Jesus, and that sort of thing. And, some of them watch my videos, street preaching videos. But I actually did an object lesson at the, at my workplace. And I'll explain that in a second. But, as far as it being a government facility, I can't openly proselytize people, and I can't, jump up on a table and start preaching. But there was a situation where I changed routes, and I was on a route at one point. It was a very good route, very very easy route, nice quiet neighborhood, and God led me to take the worst route in town, the worst route in the workplace, and I bid on that, and everybody starts asking questions like, you had this great route, why are you taking this route? It's the worst route in the building. And you see, that gave me an opportunity to tell them about Jesus and say, I was just like this bad route, but I got right with Jesus, and now, I'm a perfect route. I wasn't as bad as I was before. So I actually used that, to witness to people. And I might not be street preaching, but I'm always witnessing. I'm always talking to people about Jesus. I mean, that's never going to stop. So like I say, workplace, that sort of thing. Just don't leave that question in people's minds. But just giving you an update right now. Like I say, I'll be back street preaching next month, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having some money on hand as well, not only to support other street preachers, but, myself going out, I really enjoyed the road trip and going out and preaching, and, I like preaching with, other street preachers. I like that as well. So it's all coming back, and I'm just going to sign off for now, but there will be more videos in the future.